What's up to all you marks out there? This is Patrick coming to you from the exposed turnbuckle for your official Smackdown review. And geez, Smackdown had a lot of momentum these past few months, and oof, this was a stinker. I did not like this show. It just seemed like a lot of filler stuff, and it just seemed like a lot of extended stuff from WrestleMania. There weren't really any new feuds, and yeah, what can you say about it? SmackDown opens with the new WWE Smackdown champion, Randy Orton. Orton comes out to a mixed reaction, holding the championship high in the air as he walks to the ring. Everyone's seen it before, and he probably opted for the Royal Rumble only because it wasn't Roman Reigns. Nobody actually really wants to see Orton as the champion. Orton seems confused by the boos, starts circling around with the title, and he starts grinning. Orton says, "Remember what I said, if you can't beat him, join him, and then screw him." Orton says he's now Bray's master. Wyatt then comes on the Titantron, says Orton is the king of nothing, and that he is coming for what he is owed and what's left for him and him only. Bray says he wants to fight a different style of match, and he will drive Orton to a new level of insanity. Says he's going to hear him scream and watch him cry.
Yes!
This is probably Bray's best strength. He cuts a really good promo. Says one of them will be condemned to eternal damnation. Says the match he wants to face Orton in is a House of Horrors match. Probably an Extreme Rules match with some kind of weird weapons twist. Camera cuts to the Bray video and Bray appears in the ring. Bray and Orton trade blows and someone pulls Orton out of the ring. And who is it? Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan is back and his beard is looking beastly.
Yeah!
Eric Rowan is back. Then Luke Harper's music hits and he makes short work of Rowan on the outside. Bray goes for the Sister Abigail, Harper counters, and they give Bray a boot, and Rowan and Bray retreat down the ramp. I thought this wasn't the best way to start out with SmackDown. I think you probably could have let it off with Shane and AJ. It did lead to the main event, so it's only right that he would open it, but I don't know. It just cuts to a Miz and Maurice promo. Says Cena has to propose because they embarrassed them. Says they're calling out Nikki and Cena, and Miz says this will be the last time you see either of them for a very long time.
No!
I don't want to see that, really. John Cena has his haters. The John Cena sucks chant is probably one of my favorite chants in wrestling, but he's great. You can't replace John Cena. Next up, Alexa Bliss gets a championship rematch versus Naomi. As Naomi is being announced, Alexa covers her ears. And I don't know why, this just really stuck out to me. She's really good at the side heel, demonstrations and actions. It was too good. It's almost like childish almost, but it's so good. Alright, Alexa starts on offense first, punching, kicking, and hair pulling. Naomi hits a running bulldog in the middle turnbuckle and chases Alexa on the outside. During the intermission, Alexa drives her shoulder into Naomi's injured leg, then places her into submission, extending it in ways she shouldn't. So Alexa hits another hair toss and then goes back to work on the knee on the mat. Naomi's really selling the leg now. It was very Nakamura and Bobby Roode-like. Naomi gives Alexa a flurry of forearms and hits a back body drop. Alexa with a DDT, but only for the 2 count. Alexa just starts choking Naomi. It kind of looked like she was going for a chokeslam, but she just starts choking her and then throws her down by the hair. Alexa hits the ropes and then she gets hit with a rear view 2. Naomi kicks her away, takes it to the mat, and then Naomi wins with the spider twist, retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship. I think that was the right move. Naomi's reign didn't even happen the first time, so you can't just take it off her, right? these two will battle. Back from commercial, Kurt Hawkins is now in the ring. He says the superstar shakeup makes him sick because everyone's talking about it and not him, Kurt Hawkins. So he's issuing an open challenge to anyone in the locker room, and he'll give them to the count of 10. So who comes out? It's the debut of Ty Dillinger. I think this is the right move. Raw's already stacked with talent, so definitely need to revamp the SmackDown roster. It's possible he could go to Raw, but I really don't envision it. I think Nakamura stays on SmackDown. Collar and elbow, Hawkins goes behind, Ty wrestles a circle around him and throws the 10 fingers in his face. Back to the lockup, Kurt gets him in the corner and slugs him in the gut on the break. Boots laid in, back suplex, Dillinger with a left hand punches and right hand chops. Langston kicks in a lariat, Hawkins is on the back foot in a bad way, mounted punches in the corner, 10 of them, naturally. Ty takes the knee pad down, and Ty Dillinger wins by pinfall with the tiebreaker. It was an alright debut. Kurt Hawkins sparingly on television. Maybe a way to maybe elevate him a little bit against a star. But it was nice to see Ty Dillinger on SmackDown. Also, another much needed revamp. Because like I said, Raw is very stacked with talent, so they definitely need to pool in some big names and stars onto the Next, we go to a Mojo Rawley promo. Rawley says it's all been unreal lately, and he can't even believe that it's happening. Mojo says he wishes he was Andre, and that he could chug a whole barrel, and he wonders how he would be like cutting a rug. I think the only time Andre the Giant could ever cut a rug is when he's dragging his feet across it when he's going to the kitchen. Mojo says he's just getting started. Asks Dasha, can you feel that? She says nope. And then I can't really imagine that this was a scripted part because Mojo kind of looked confused by her answer. So he started fumbling around and he goes, nah, that's okay. Because Andre and I feel it. John Cena's music hits and a better than average John Cena sucks chant. But it is not John Cena. It is The Miz dressed as John Cena. And then we have Maurice also dressed up as Nikki, and I will never get tired of this. They could literally do this for the rest of their career, and I would never get bored. Miz does a great job playing John Cena. Maurice does a great job playing Nikki Bella, and they they really nail it. Miz says, according to John Cena's rules, you cannot say that John Cena sucks. He says Cena wants to get serious, tells Nikki he loves her in his robot voice. Nikki, I love you. Hey man, wrong card. Nikki, I love you. He says just like everything in their life, the ring is not real. Nikki says that they're going to do something that they said they would never do. Cena says they are leaving, followed by yes chants in the background.
Yes!
Says they're going to be gone for a very long time.
Yes!
And you won't be able to see them anymore. And then he just starts a no more Cena chant. So he's just standing there and then he just goes, no more Cena. And then the whole crowd just starts chanting no more Cena. A violinist starts playing on the ramp, and you know what that means. The King of Strong Style. Shinsuke Nakamura is now on SmackDown. Makes his way to the ring, and he's greeted, obviously, by a huge pop. And then Miz and Maurice just kind of fade into the background. It was a weird segment. I don't really understand why that Miz and Maurice got interrupted by Shinsuke. Hopefully they explain it in more detail on next week's SmackDown. But I don't know. It didn't really seem like they just didn't have anything good really planned for Nakamura's debut. So alright, next up is a rematch from WrestleMania 33 with Baron Corbin facing Dean Ambrose in a street fight. A lot of people think that this is what WrestleMania 33 should have been, and I agree. I agree with the match style, and I agree with the match outcome that it should have been the WrestleMania match. Corbin starts out vicious, hammering on Ambrose in the corner. Ambrose turns the momentum around and hits Corbin with a suicide dive. Ambrose starts throwing Corbin into the guardrail, then throws him over the guardrail into the crowd. He hops on the announcer table and hits his flying elbow. Alright, pretty much the only thing that I got from this match is Ambrose uses that flying elbow way too fucking much. A lot of people bag on Roman Reigns for having only a few set of moves, but Ambrose really only has like 4. So, I mean, if you're going to hate on one, you should hate on the other just as much. Match cuts back from break with both of them in the ring. Ambrose tries for another flying elbow, and Corbin picks up Ambrose and spears him through the table set up in the corner. Corbin finds a red strap underneath the ring and starts whipping the shit out of Ambrose.
Yeah!
Corbin sets up a chair in between the turnbuckle, tries to send Ambrose into the chair, and Ambrose reverses, sends Corbin head first into the chair. Ambrose tries for a dirty deeds, Corbin reverses, and then they start trading punches in the middle of the ring. Ambrose gaining momentum, then he grabs a strap and starts unleashing on Corbin. And these were vicious. He was going to town on Corbin. Corbin falls out of the ring and Ambrose hits his flying elbow. And that's 3 already for those counting at home. Ambrose throws Corbin on the table, set up on the outside. He climbs back in, hits the top rope, and another elbow. And sends Corbin through the table. Ambrose throws Corbin back in the ring. Ambrose climbs the top rope, probably for another elbow because he doesn't do anything else on the top rope. And then Corbin knocks him down, hits a quick end of days, and that is your match. Corbin gets his redemption win, probably setting up a grudge match between them in a future pay-per-view for the IC title. And this time I hope that they get it right, that they actually just give Corbin the strap, because Ambrose isn't really doing anything with it, and I'm generally just not entertained with a lot of his matches. Seeing the strap was always good. I was a big WCW fan. That was Hollywood Hulk Hogan's favorite weapon of choice, just whipping the shit out of people with the strap. So that's always a good one to fall back on. You can't do chair shots to the head anymore, so a strap is probably one of the most vicious weapons that they could have just thrown in there. And it was a decent little match. It wasn't bad. A little bit too much elbow, but it wasn't too bad. We come back to the show, and Shane McMahon is making his way down to the ring. Shane thanks the fan for the warm applause. Shane says Vinnie Mac is going to shake things up with the draft. Shane says any wrestler on Raw should be on their hands and knees praying that they get traded to the super brand that he and the fans created. AJ music hits, and now we get to see the confrontation after the great match they both put on WrestleMania 33. AJ and Shane stare down in the middle of the ring as the crowd chants AJ Styles. Says he doesn't know what's going on with the shakedown, but he says he doesn't want to go anywhere. AJ says that the people know, the crowd know, and everyone knows that this is the house that AJ Styles built. Crowd starts chanting, yes! AJ says he'll be damned if someone is going to take that from him. AJ says he has something for Shane and extends his hand. And AJ doesn't pull back. He actually just leaves it out there. Shane shakes it. As AJ's walking away, he does like a what? Pretending that he's going to attack Shane, and then he just laughs and then gets out of the ring. This was a really good moment. It was the top dog of SmackDown with the general of SmackDown, and the way that the match went, to not include as much extreme stuff with Shane and AJ, and for them to still put on that great show. I thought it was a nice little segment. It was just a great term of respect to Shane for putting his body on the line for all of us to be entertained. Alright, so next up we got the main event between Bray Wyatt with Eric Rowan and Luke Harper and Randy Orton. Orton comes out again holding up the title. I'm not sure why he keeps doing this. He doesn't have it around his waist. He doesn't have it around his shoulder. He's just holding it up, kind of like trolling us, like, oh, look what I got. Rowan and Owen starts thing off. Orton goes for a quick RKO, but Rowan counters. Action comes back with Bray and Orton battling it out. Orton makes the hot tag to Harper, and Harper starts destroying Bray. Chants of Luke are heard in the crowd as Rowan and Bray retreat to the outside. Harper then hits a suicide dive on Bray and Rowan. Bray and Rowan turn it around. Bray hits a senton splash followed by a Rowan splash. Rowan and Harper start trading blows in the corner. Rowan says Harper crashing into the turnbuckle. Harper goes for a body cross. Rowan catches him and 360 spins him into a power slam. Bray's tagged back in, then he starts stopping on Harper. Rowan then tags back in, and Harper is being worn down in the middle of the ring. Rowan hits a headbutt in the corner and lays Harper on the top for a series of forearms. Bray comes back in and has Harper in a headlock. Crowd starts clapping to hype Luke up. And I mean, this guy's getting a lot of push from the fans. He just came out of nowhere. Luke gets up and he gets the hot tag on Orton. Orton hits his signature power slam on Rowan, tries to set him up for that DDT on the middle rope. Bray breaks it up, and because Bray gets to break it up, now he gets to get the DDT. Orton calling for the RKO, and the camera cuts to a Bray video clip. Bray comes from the middle of the ring onto the middle of the ramp and leaves Rowan to the dogs. Harper hits a super kick. Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere, and that is your match. I don't know. I'm so-so on this. I did like seeing all the Wyatt family in the same match. It was nice to see Rowan come back. He has been gone for a while. I'm really not interested in seeing this Orton-Bray feud just keep dragging out. They probably don't have anything else lined up for either of them. But overall, I think that SmackDown definitely mailed it in. They definitely got their asses beat down by Raw this week. I gave Raw a 6. Maybe I was being too harsh, but I would give this SmackDown probably a 4. And probably 3 of those points were earned just because Ty Dillinger and Nakamura showed up. Overall, I did not like this show. I thought it was just a lot of filler stuff. It seemed lazy. It seemed sloppy. A lot of the scenes didn't really make sense. Why did Shinsuke come out and just interrupt Miz and Maurice? There was nothing added to that. There's just a lot of weird questions and a lot of stuff that weren't really up to par. Hopefully SmackDown comes back next week with a stronger show, but that is your After Mania. Alright guys, it has been a long 3 days. I am still exhausted from WrestleMania 33. I was up all night last night, catching up on Raw, and then cutting the review, and then it took me a while to play around with the video editor, so I was up till 6 in the morning, and I'm just really tired. SmackDown didn't pick me up. I was excited to watch it all night, and then I got that. Alright, and that's the show. That's all I have for it. Be sure and click that like button. Be sure and subscribe to the Exposed Turnbuckle. We do Monday Night Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, and we do cover all pay-per-view reviews too. So you crazy kids, until next time, see ya.